Most High is my rock. TK. Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutting. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on cop?
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
All right, thank you for joining us again for another class here at ISBHPK. All right, let's get this link out to all the brothers and sisters. Let's get this link out. As you know, we're here out of Norfolk, Virginia. All right, we have class Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for those newcomers that are on our channel. Again, like our page, please. Like the video, subscribe to the page. We're trying to get over 1,000 subscriptions so that we're able to use our YouTube in other ways. All right, on events that we may have. All right, you got 11 people on already. We have a school in Houston as well, our sister school, brother school in Houston. They have class Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturday, Sabbath morning class from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. during the week, and then on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2. All right, if you need any more directions just for that, hit us up. Houston is back at the school location here in Norfolk. We are not back at our school yet, so if you're in this area, please hit us up, and we'll definitely get that information to you. Upcoming events, we have the Feast of Pentecost, which is the Feast of First Fruits, which is going to be May the 26th. This is going to be a Tuesday. All right, May the 26th on a Tuesday, Feast of Pentecost. So mark that in your calendars. We're going to be feasting in both areas, Houston and Virginia. So allow yourself to enjoy some brotherhood and sisterhood and unity for one of our holy days. All right, we celebrate a lot here in the world, dealing with all the made-up holidays. You know, the faulty worshiping of other gods. So how much more coming together for our holy days that were in the Bible. So again, that's going to be Feast of Pentecost, which is going to be May the 26th, and this is going to be a Tuesday. A Tuesday, I believe, right? Yep, May the 26th is a Tuesday. All right. If you need any more information, you can text or call Priest Kazakia. You have his number on the screen, as well as Priest Kwatazak. His number is going to be on there as well for any questions or concerns that you may have. We have a Israel wear where the sisters are putting garments together, shirts together for you. So you can order on there on Facebook at Israel wear, or everything's Israel wear. You can get you a headband, shirt, jacket, fringed, whatever that you need. The sisters will be able to take care of that for you. Again, that's going to be everything Israel wear on Facebook. All right. We have a business as well, Sweet Ambiance. Hit us up on Instagram or the website for any orders. All your fragrance needs, from oils to your bath bombs, bath salts. We have a little bit of everything. So go on the website, support. Again, and that's how we support our school, through our business. So as you know, we're not up right now in the mall, so definitely hit us up online. We have subscription packages as well, and a lot of different things that you can get for yourself and for others. For more announcements, we have other channels as well that you can actually like and subscribe to. We have different ways to get this information out. We have the cable show, which has a lot of current events and events that are just pretty, need to know. We have the news show, which is more recent in current events. We have the Houston channel, our channel, and then we also have 5 minutes of wisdom. All right, so we got a lot of ways for you to get this truth. And we have Priest Mashaba. He has a Blog Talk Radio at blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, Mashahba. This is going to be every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. until 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. All right, so we're doing our part to try to get this word out. So check that out, all those different avenues. We're going to touch on some questions. And we're definitely going to hit questions today. So if anybody has questions in the chat, we will go ahead and take those before we get into our class. All right. So we're going to let brothers log in. Yeah, so that Feast of Pentecost, man, that's it's coming up. It's in a couple weeks. So I hope to see some familiar faces, hopefully, if it's possible. I know the quarantine, they're starting to allow cities to reopen, so it'll be a little bit easier to move around. So if you're in the surrounding areas, come on out, Houston or Virginia. All right. All right, so we're still going to wait for questions, if anybody has any. Oh yeah. All right, so give brothers and sisters a little bit more time to log in. We got 21 people. Come on, man. Yahweh's the king, we know that. Matazalia, there it is. Maltazalia. I like that.
Nobody got any questions out? Let's go.
Yeah, so all right, since nobody has any questions, we're gonna go right into our class that we have. And actually the class today was from a question from a brother that had a question regarding what if the Most High didn't give him kids or her kids? If the Most High didn't bestow or allow an individual to have kids, exactly why was the reason for that? So this class is going to go into details regarding why the Most High may have not given you, just all different equations regarding the question, because it's a very it's a broad question. There's many things that go within that. The question of why the Most High did not give me kids. All right.
Yeah. One thing dealing with this question, and it's sort of like a lot of other questions also, you gotta, sometimes we come. Oh, the question that came up? He just said it.
Oh,
say it again?
No, that's another one.
Oh, there was a new question. Okay, go ahead.
They're asking, do we keep PURIM?
Yeah. PURIM. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep.
That's all.
Yes, we keep PURIM. We keep all the holidays. Not sure if you're new to the channel or new to our school. We keep all the high holy days. Yes, we do.
Gone.
Do we? I can have her also get the calendar and put it up there for you. But yeah, we keep all the high holy days. All right. That was it on that?
That's it on that one.
Yeah, I was saying that dealing with these questions, we got a lot of brothers and sisters. Excuse me, a lot of brothers sometimes when they answer these questions, it's either sometimes the questions are not answered with a full circumference of both sides. We gotta consider that the Most High, he talks about the wicked, he talks about the righteous. So that a lot of questions ain't just straight down the center. Sometimes it might pertain to the righteous. Sometimes it might pertain to the wicked. So that's how we're going to answer this question, man, going over it in its entirety. Because the brothers that's asking the question, you know, you would think, well, sometimes an Israelite would say, well, he's just wicked. Why he ain't been giving kids? And that's wrong. That's wrong. That's not the case all the time when not getting blessed with something. You know, you got to think about it, how you're blessed with things. It ain't all the time that the Most High thinks you're wicked. A lot of times it's that you don't need that. The Most High don't want you to have that at that point. So it's not that you're wicked. It's not that you're the best person in the world. Is that he might feel you don't need that. So we're going to touch on this topic and hopefully hit this brother's question. It's a good question. Did we have any other questions before we go into it?
No, sir.
No? What happened?
No, I was looking.
Okay.
That was it.
No other questions?
Nope.
All right.
And just for the Purim, just to give you some scriptures, you can go to Esther chapter 9, verse 26 and 27, to give you the understanding about Purim as well, about celebrating Purim. All right. So going into the class, we're going to start with Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 8. Yeah, Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 8. And this is just showing at the beginning, just showing that the Most High has things the way that He wants them to be. He places people in certain situations. He gives them certain predicaments. So we have to see that a lot of times how our mind goes to analyze why the Most High may do things isn't always the correct way that the Most High is seeing things. So I want to start off with this scripture, Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 8.
Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
Yeah, the Most High, the way that He thinks and the way that He brings things together are completely different how we analyze and see things. A lot of times we see it straightforward, but the Most High has these small inner workings in everyone's life. And when it comes to our thoughts, we're not thinking like the Most High all the way. Go ahead.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
Uh-huh.
Neither are your ways my ways.
Yeah. Our ways are not the Most High's ways, and going in about just His omnipotency. The Most High is a glorious God, man. You know, and the things that He has and gives, you know, some may not know why. And this is it's a good question. It's a good question because we're going to go through the scriptures and show all the possibilities of why not the Most High giving a woman or a man children. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, verse 9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth,
Go ahead.
so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
Yeah. Just showing that the Most High, how He functions, how He thinks, is different from us. Go to Psalms 127 and verse 3.
Yeah, the way we process things, the way we calculate things is a lot of times one dimensional. And, you know, looking at the Bible, looking at what the Most High has given us, you can see He's multi-dimensional. He's moving on different levels. You know, when you first come into the Bible, Christianity taught you that God is all love. That's one dimensional. Like, we know that ain't true because all through the Bible, there's love, hate, death, life, joy. There's many attributes of the Most High and many reasons. And it's for that reason why a lot of people get shunned from the scriptures. They get shunned from the scriptures because when they read the scriptures, they're reading that this God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, He's killing all these people in the beginning, right? With the flood.
Right.
Then you got the pastors telling them God is all love. Then you're like, wait a minute. There's something wrong here. If God is love, why is He killing everybody? And then you get that Caucasian mind state. Well, I can't worship a God that is going to kill babies.
Yep.
Well, you don't understand the Creator. Just basics. And I'm not saying we totally understand. Based off the parameters of the scriptures, we understand the Most High. Off the parameters of the scriptures, we can understand what he gave us. So, well, why did that baby get mauled or ate up by an alligator? Is the will of the Most High? Maybe the Most High wanted to free that individual. Yeah, that's a vicious way. Maybe the Most High wanted to punish that individual. So, my thoughts are not your thoughts, right? That's what it said. Read that again. You're not there no more? But that's what it says. Where was that? Isaiah?
Isaiah 55 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
Right.
Neither are your ways my ways.
Yeah, that every way is not going to be the way you see it. The Most High is more vast. I said it the other day, like when you look at these detective movies, right? And they look at the board in the back, and then you got all these angles to all these criminals, and this criminal links to that criminal going, and that's how the Most High is thinking plus. He's thinking on every level while you're thinking you just still got the one guy in your poster, right? The Most High is looking at everything. He's omnipotent. That means he knows all. He's everywhere at all times, right? So read that again.
God, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are your ways my ways.
So now we see why he says that, right? Go ahead, jump. Where we at?
You can go to Romans 11, in verse 33.
Romans chapter 11 and verse 33.
Go ahead.
God, oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High.
Yeah, the Most High is very, like you're saying, very vast when it comes to the knowledge. His mightiness is very supreme to ours. Read.
How unsearchable are his judgments.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah, it's like going up. They got the supercomputer going against the little China boy up in China or wherever, go and playing chess, right? Like, think about how many moves ahead you have to be to combat what a supercomputer. Now, we're talking about the Creator. So think about the depthness. And this is why we can't comprehend a lot of his moves. Just think about how far back you are when you in that Christian mind state. That one-dimensional mind state, Jesus is love, God is love, that'll keep you from understanding from understanding anything in the scriptures. Because you won't understand all these, the Davids.
Yeah, the versatility.
Known for killing his 10,000s, right? You won't understand that. You won't understand why, Yahweh Shai was compassionate, right? You won't understand that. You won't understand the diversity of the scriptures. So this is showing us how deep in depth the Most High is. Go ahead.
God, how unsearchable are his judgments.
Right, how unsearchable. Right? So even though we have the knowledge and we search through the scriptures, when you go through the scriptures, you find out that this is but not even part of what the Most High is. And think about how much we got here. Right. Think about how much we know with the Bible. So this is the beauty of the Most High, the depthness of the Bible. Go ahead.
How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways.
But then you ask yourself, whoa, wait a minute, I thought you have the judgments. Because what it's telling us here is not that we don't have judgments. It means that when you go in depth, deep, the deeper, you're thinking you're on one level in understanding, the Bible goes deeper and always levels and tiers that will bring you closer to the Spirit. That's why we were talking about the other day about being bored.
Right.
There's no way you can get bored with the scriptures if you're studying. There's no way you can say, oh, I read that before. I heard that before. You can't do that because if you're studying, every time you get back in the Word, you're supposed to learn the in-depthness of the Word. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're supposed to learn something deeper.
Yeah, it's like another door of your understanding.
Yeah.
Opens from the Word.
Yeah.
It's like they use this word called double entendre for words.
Right.
Like a word has double meaning.
Right, and we use parables or allegories.
Right.
Right, or what's the other ones?
Metaphor.
Metaphors. right? A what? Analogy, right? Yeah, exactly.
So just showing the word just goes. It's just not just one-sided, like you said.
Right. And once again, when you don't get the basics of that, you don't understand that tree can mean different things. That she can be talking about wisdom. You don't understand certain things in the Bible, and it's like, well, why is it talking like that? Well, that's not what it said. And then when you read it, you read the definition. You're like, well, the definition says this. And that's why you got all these fights.
Right.
Because the scriptures is a stumbling stone.
All those different doctrines.
Yeah, the scriptures is a stumbling stone. So some people will read it and some people take it for face value. Right? And then through the scriptures, you can go a little bit deeper if you show them both sides. So go ahead.
And his ways past finding out.
Yeah, his ways past finding out. But think about it. The Most High gave us the Bible. You learn your nationality. You learn so much so far. The Most High is about keeping us moving forward and constantly becoming more like Him. But that's a constant battle, a constant fight to continually keep learning and growing in the Spirit. So when we talk about the, certain topics, when we talk about all topics, think about how many topics we go through. Thinking about how many variations of those topics. And of course, they all got to be in the perspective of the scriptures, right? It can't be no made up, right?
Right.
Or weirdness. It got to be proven through the scriptures, but there's many variables. Go ahead.
God, verse 34.
Uh-huh.
Who have known the mind of the Lord.
Right.
Or who have been his counselor.
Right.
And that's it on that. Mm-hmm. Go to we're gonna go to Genesis 15:1. Go right into it. Genesis chapter 15 and verse 1. And I'm coming here just to show you some examples of the possibility of why one may not have children, because there was many examples in the Bible of individuals that were barren, where the Most High made them like that, or where the Most High opened the womb. So just going and showing about there were men and women that had these same issues of thinking, dang, I don't have any children. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's that reason? Genesis chapter 15 and verse 1. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 15 and verse 1. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward.
So we're talking about Abram here. And we know a little bit about Abraham dealing with Sarah. But we're going to see how the story unveils and see exactly what was going through Abraham's mind during the time. Think about it. He's a little bit less than 100 here, but he didn't receive his first child till 100 years old. So we got to see that even with Abraham, he probably thought that he wasn't going to have children. So the Most High was working in, like we just went over the last week, the fruits of the Spirit, the virtues. He was working on some virtues in Abraham, but let's get to it. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And Abram said, Lord God, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless?
Yeah, Abraham was like, look, I'm childless. What are you gonna give me? I ain't got no children. What's going on? I done came out of my land. I'm doing what you want me to do, but I still don't have an heir. I'm childless. And a lot of our people think like that. And a lot of us are what, 30, 40, 25, 21? Like, dang, I ain't got no kids. Well, look at Abraham. Abraham's about 75, 80 years old without no kids. Mm-hmm. And a lot of individuals in the Bible were older when they gave birth. Keep reading.
God.
Yeah, the Most High is always trying your patience. So back to the question, the brother's asking, well, why is it that the Most High don't bless everybody with kids? It could be that. It could be that the Most High is trying your patience. As you see in this area, what Abraham is, the Most High was trying his patience. I mean, you ain't dead yet.
Right.
So you can't say it ain't never happened. The Most High could probably wait till you about 80.
Gone.
And then you'll be like, well, that ain't going to happen.
Nah.
You never know.
Like Rob's grandpa in Jamaica, he had his last child, I believe, and he was like 75.
Wow.
75 or 80. I was just talking with him whenever he was out here, but age don't matter. Especially when it comes to men, your sperm never dies.
Right.
So remember that it never dies.
Yeah. You see that right there. That could be a reason that is why you don't have kids. I mean, Most High wants you to be patient. There's certain qualities that might be needed to be added to you. But isn't that in everything? Why is it that you don't get what you want?
Yeah.
In any perspective.
This is not the right time. It might destroy you. There's a lot of variables.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables. It's not the right time. You don't deserve it. You know what I mean? It could be the Most High. Most High is punishing you, right? It could be a lot of things. He wants to send you the right one, right?
Right.
Yeah. So this is what we're seeing through the scriptures. Go ahead.
And the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus.
Wait a minute. Who's that image she put up there?
Dang. Right. I thought that was Don from Progressive.
Sis, stop it. You got Esau up there like, whose rib is that? Whose rib is that, sis?
Dang. Nah, she's that's Argentina.
Oh, that's Argentina.
Yeah, Argentinians look like that's Asher.
That's Asher. Oh wow.
I don't know. Argentina's what? Naphtali.
Naphtali. Wow, bro. Go ahead.
Argentina. Yep.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. And Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given me no seed.
Yeah. Abraham didn't have no seed, no child, no heir. Think about it. He had thousands of oxen. He had gold. He had a lot of 300 servants that he brought up in his house. Think about it. He's seeing babies being born. He's like, dang, I ain't got nothing.
Right.
What's going on?
Right.
But one thing about Abraham is that he continually stayed in his path of the Most High. Right. Nor did he doubt the Most High. And that's what, from this story, we have to see that he didn't have kids, but he asked the Most High, he's like, listen, I'm childless. I need an heir. Because he's talking about Eleazar. That wasn't his blood. That wasn't his son. Go ahead.
And lo, one born in my house is my heir.
Right.
And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir.
And I like that because Abraham had to have hope. You know, a lot of things, hope drives us. Hope is hoping that you receive what you want. Mm-hmm. But that allows you, and it makes you focus on the Most High and to stay in good graces where he might just bless you with it.
Right.
Because think about it. A lot of cats, they don't get what they want because they never stay.
They never stay the course.
Never stay the course.
They never stay the course. It's like right before you you're on the precipice of the blessing, and then next thing you know, you give up.
Yep.
Right?
Faint-hearted.
And that Ecclesiasticus 2 where it says,
lost patience.
He will not defend you. He will
right.
not bless you. Woe to you that has lost patience. But, we're answering the question, but y'all got to, remember, think wide on this. Understand that the Most High deals with everything like this. With this brother that asked the question, it could be with you, with something else. But you're not going to get what you want until you wait. Until you wait on the Most High. You wait on the Most High. And if it's righteous. I mean, that's another variable, right? We got a lot of people that want things is wicked as hell. No, I mean, the thing that they want is wicked, right? The reason that they want it is wicked, right?
Yep.
And they don't know that. Huh?
Going to James.
Okay, right.
You ask not.
Right.
You
want to go there?
We can go there. I didn't pull it. Go to James chapter 3.
James chapter 3.
Just on that point, yeah. James chapter 3. You know what I want.
Right. For y'all that are logging in or whatever, this is a question that a brother had. He had it a while back. We wanted to touch on it. And for y'all that brothers, that ask questions, I know we got to answer. I got to get back to a few of y'all, and we're not forgetting about those questions. We're gonna answer the brother Jonathan question. I think I got to get back to Dawiyad also. Dawiyad, I ain't forgot about you, Ak. Yeah, I mean, it's just I've been trying to do a lot of things. Even though we had quarantine, we're still doing a lot of things behind the scene. We ain't just sitting around. We're doing a lot of things, trying to prepare for getting things back rolling and class and all that, and still doing what we're doing. So, yeah, where we at?
Go to James chapter 4 and verse 2.
James chapter 4 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ye lust, and ye have not. Ye kill and desire to have.
Right. So we have to remember this. This is the Most High is telling us about how sometimes our desires are geared. We want, but we don't got it. You'll kill for it, right? But you're too lazy to get it. Want to go there? You want it, you desire, but you can't get to that level because you're too lazy to fight for it. So, this is beautiful because it shows you, man, how vast the Most High is. It shows you how wisdom, like when you think about it, if you're sitting down and you're saying to yourself, man, I want such and such. Boo hoo, why I don't got it? And you're like, see, man, the Most High ain't with me. Or you know what? I guess I'm just wicked. Or I just, you know what? You know what? I gotta give up. Yep. You're not opening up your mind through the scriptures to understand that it could be many different reasons, you know, and it could be pulling you into that humility, like he went over yesterday, being meek and humble, right, and humbling you down. Go ahead.
You know that one scripture, or not a scripture, but everybody they quote it like it's a scripture, but it says that they say, God helps those who helps themselves.
Right.
Which is, it's facts.
Right.
It's true, but, you know, just going into the same scriptures that a lot of times what you want is not what you need.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
You lust and have not.
Yeah, so your desire, obviously, look at the context he's using this in. Your desire is so strong that you want this thing, but he ain't giving it to you. I mean, that's the fact of it. He's not giving it. You lust, you desire for it, but you don't have it.
Yep.
Who's stopping that? Go ahead.
You kill and desire to have and cannot obtain.
Right. Obviously, a wicked mind state, meaning that you'll do anything to achieve or to desire these things. And isn't that man? Isn't that women? That's how they lose it, because they will kill for wickedness. They will kill for their own lusts and their own desires. But when it comes to the truth, then you want to question everything. You done shot niggas in the world, so crack to your mama, but when you come in the truth, it's like, I'm kind of skeptical.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure about this. It's like, wow, okay. The Most High is looking like you're unfaithful.
God.
Right? Go ahead.
Fight and war.
Right, you fight in war, meaning you have the thing you want. You're strongly do anything that you can to achieve that. And this is a lot of times the Most High is looking at your spirit and seeing, okay, he knows how to move the pieces. I'm going to try you. Sometimes he might just give it to you, right? Yeah. I was watching this little thing on World Star about with 50, and it was asking him why is his son, him going to war.
Beefing. Yeah.
And, you know, his son is like 24 now or whatever, but he said he's privileged. He's been taught this mind state.
By his mom, yeah.
But what he said was, he says you never know, you never really understand what finances and money is going to do to you in your life until you get it. He said it don't turn out to be what it always is. And which is real. That's like the only realest thing you ever heard. All that, I shot 5 and I killed and sold dope to my mama. That moment, the 2 seconds he said that, was probably the only smartest thing he ever said in his life. Out in the open, I should say. But, you know, it's things like that. It's that's the fact that, you know, you did all these wicked things and then you got this success, but then he gave you what you wanted on this end, but you lost everything on another end. Okay. See, that's why the Most High knows how to deal with the godly. He knows how to keep you humble. He knows how to keep you focused. So necessarily not having things ain't necessarily a bad thing. Godliness with contentment is gain. Remember that. Yeah.
That's why the scripture says, what profit of a man though he gain the world and lose his soul? Yeah. Because if you're so lustful to gain those things, in the back end you will lose what's important the most.
Right. Soul. Yeah. Yep. Go ahead, finish that.
God, yet ye have not.
Right.
Because ye ask not.
Right.
Verse 3.
Right, because you ask not. And a lot of times is you don't pray.
Done.
See, you see how many themes that are coming up?
We're going to hit that.
Right? You don't pray. Right? Where jump from there. Where we at?
We go to 1 John.
1 John.
Oh, no. John chapter 16 and verse 23.
St. John. Excuse me.
Yeah, we're going to skip
St. John. So, you know, these are the things that you got to think about, brother. The brother that asked the question. Like, it ain't necessarily you did nothing wrong. But now what you can do is, through the scriptures and through the understanding, is check your mindset. You can check your thought process and say, man, you know what? Let me look at myself. Let me look at my surroundings. Let me look at my spirit and see what it could be. Is it because there's something wrong in me? Is it because the Most High is telling me I need patience? Is it because it ain't time? Is it because the Most High wants me to be focused on something else? You got to look at all these things. So this ain't one set reason.
Nope.
This ain't going to be one set reason. We're throwing out all the variables that the Most High has laid out for us through the scriptures. Go ahead.
John chapter 16, verse 23. And in that day ye shall ask me nothing.
Read.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall ask the Father in my name, he will give it to you.
Yeah, just showing that if you ask, like you said, do you pray? Was that one, did you actually ask the Heavenly Father, Lord, bless me with some children?
Right.
Because that has to be a question, because, you know, a lot of us think about having children, but is this a request that you sent up to the Most High? Mm-hmm. The scripture says in the Apocrypha that the prayers of the servants pierceth the clouds. Mm-hmm. So show that Christ is saying, listen, if you say it in my name, I'll give it to you. Mm-hmm. But there's something involved with this as well, because you can ask for it. You could be a servant, but continue to read.
Mm-hmm. Verse 24.
Go ahead.
Hitherto have ye asked nothing in my name.
Read.
Ask and ye shall receive.
Go ahead.
That your joy may be full.
Yeah, so we're seeing that the Most High wants to give us what we want. Mm-hmm. He wants us to have a full joy. Now go to Genesis 25 and 21.
But you know what's crazy is you pulled that after the one we just went over in James. Now, let's think about it like this. You ask, you pray, but did you ask amiss? Right? Did you pray and you asked and you weren't in the right mind? Now, we're not prejudging the brother. We're telling you what the scriptures say. So now you can judge yourself. You can be able to say, man, damn, was I in the right mind? Well, is this what I want?
Right.
Right? Is this what I need? Right? Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren.
So we're seeing about Isaac. His rib was barren, having no kids, but he said he did what?
He entreated the Lord for his wife.
He entreated the Most High for his wife. Praying to the Most High, got on his knees. Go ahead.
Because she was barren.
Read.
And the Lord was entreated of him.
Go ahead.
And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
Just showing that Isaac got on his knees and was praying for the Most High. Rebekah was blessed. But I'm going to show you something. Go to 1 John 5 and 14, because just showing that the Most High, he hears us. Mm-hmm. But like you said, is it something that you need at this time? Or was it a man that you seen, oh man, I can see myself having kids with that thoroughbred.
Right.
You know what I mean? Have me a nice family. Yeah, but do you know how to be a wife first?
Right.
Or even for the men. Oh man, that sister, man, she said she want to have my kids, man. Mm-hmm. Brother, do you know the sister? Because you know how we move. We like to move off our emotions, our feelings. Is it true, genuine? Are we trying to raise up defenders for Israel? Avengers for Israel? The Most High will give us by his will. Read where you at.
1 John chapter 5, verse 13.
14. Go ahead.
And this is the confidence that we have in him.
And we do have confidence whenever we pray to the Most High. We know that we're abiding in his way. We're doing what he wants us to do. Mm-hmm. When we pray, we have a hope that he hears us. Come on now. I know y'all ain't on your stomach wailing for nothing. You ain't in there almost with sackcloth on you, wailing. Mm-hmm. We know we're doing it for a reason. Go ahead.
That if we ask anything.
If we do what?
If we ask anything.
If we ask anything. Now let's hear what the Most High is saying here. Go ahead.
According to his will.
According to my will.
According to his will.
According to what I want.
According to his will.
It was always about what the Most High wants. Yeah, he knows that you want a rib, you want this and that, but it's not the time, brother. Isaac, I hear you. You know what? You've been striving.
But you got a rib,
right? Hey, he's ready for it.
But that's the mindset,
right?
Well, you got a rib. Like, this ain't about that brother or this brother. This is about what you have, what you want. You know, because you got brothers like that. You know that we'll pull the scripture and then they're like, well, you got it. Like you're focusing that energy towards somebody.
Right.
Well, obviously you don't. Why? That's the question, right? Why? Examine yourself. Right? Look at yourself and see that, you know, it might be that the scriptures say, woe to them that give suck in those days.
Ooh, hitting that.
Right? Go ahead. Right. I'm jumping ahead.
No,
sorry.
It's all right.
And this is the confidence that we have in him.
Go ahead.
That if we ask anything according to his will,
read.
He heareth us.
Yeah, he heareth us. So just showing that the Most High is not a respecter of men, not a respecter of persons. He'll give you what he thinks you need at that time. Just like Abraham. Abraham didn't need no kids. Going back to Genesis 15. Go back to Genesis chapter 15, showing that Abraham didn't need kids in his 20 years, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, 80, 90 years. He made him wait. He made him wait so long, his rib laughed. I'm gonna bear something at this age?
Right.
Come on, man. The angel had to check her. The angel had to check Sarah and be like, no, listen, your husband still has hope. You're going to have this baby. But it just shows you that what would their mind state in thinking I don't have no kids?
Right.
They had to be patient, you know? Go to Genesis chapter 15 and verse. You said that 4?
Yes, sir.
You can drop that. Go to Genesis chapter 18 and verse 1. Genesis chapter 18 and verse 1, and you can go to Proverbs 13 and verse 12. Hold that where you're at, Ariel. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 12. Please.
Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
Hope deferred maketh the heart sick.
Yeah, hope deferred. And a lot of our brothers and sisters, even dealing with this issue about a child, children, bearing. A lot of times you hope, but you hope so long that now you start to get sick by it. You're like, dang, is the Most High really with me? Is the Most High on my side? Is he hearing me? He is. But that's patience. And think about Abraham, 100 years. It took this man 100 years to bring forth one seed. Because he was saying like, dang, I'm childless, Yahweh. Come on, man, give me your heir. I got all this. I'm going to leave it to...
That's a long time, man.
I'm going to leave it to Eleazar? This dude I brought up in my house?
That's a long time.
100 years. Patience, long suffering. You know his wife, when God gonna give us a baby? Well, obviously Sarah was more meek. Babe, when's God gonna give us a baby?
Yeah.
You know, she could have been, nagging, because you see how she reacted when saying that she was gonna bear. So he had to have some type of long suffering. He had to have some type of restraint mentally, because it says that hope deferreth maketh the heart sick. When your hope is starting to be taken away because the timeline that you had it in, it make you sick. But here the scriptures is showing that you have to continue in walking your path. It says, hope deferred maketh the heart sick. Read.
But when the desire cometh.
When what?
But when the desire cometh.
When the Most High lay that blessing down. Ooh.
Right.
You were like, oh, yeah. Half of y'all was getting that stimulus checks, right? You was like, yeah, I ain't getting that stimulus. I'm probably not getting that stimulus, man. I didn't pay taxes last week, but you know what? Or last year. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Right. When that hits your account, hey. Hey. Think about it. It says, but when the desire cometh, what happens? Read.
It is a tree of life.
Yeah, it makes you feel good. Makes you feel lively. But they had to go through the emotion of waiting for it. Genesis 18 and 1. Yep. Finish the story.
18 and verse 1.
Go ahead. So just showing about the question about why the Most High didn't give you kids. Time. That could be one. Patience. Long suffering. Endure, brother. Endure, sister. Because we got a lot of sisters that are barren as well. But we're going to get into that. Read.
Genesis chapter 18 and verse 1.
Read.
And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre. And he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day.
Going about Abraham. Waiting. Go ahead.
And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him.
Uh-oh.
And when he saw them, he ran to meet them.
He knew there were some angelic men. These was men of the Most High. Go ahead.
From the tent door, and bowed himself towards the ground, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight.
Come on. He's like, oh, this is some messengers, man. It's something good must be coming. He said, if I have found favor in your sight. Read.
Pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched and wash your feet.
Listen, he's going to do everything. I'm going to wash your feet, give you some water. Go ahead.
And rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread and comfort you, ye, your hearts. After that ye shall pass on. And therefore are ye come to your servant.
To your what?
To your servant.
I like that because Abraham had everything. But he still called himself a servant. We're all servants to the Most High. I love that. That's humility. But this is why the Most High blessed Abram even in his old age. Go ahead.
And they said, So do, as thou hast said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal.
Oh yeah, go ahead and get this. Listen, get it quick, boo. We got guests. Get the food ready. Go ahead.
Knead it and make cakes upon the earth.
Right where you at?
Verse 7.
Go ahead.
And Abraham ran unto the herd and fetched a calf, tender and good, and gave it to a young man. And he hastened And he hastened to dress it. And he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed.
Yeah, because Abraham had everything, had the riches, sent it to one of his servants. Go ahead and dress this, make this well for this meal. Go ahead.
And set it before him. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. Verse 9. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son.
Read that again.
Sarah thy wife shall have a son.
Yeah, they're letting Abraham know that, listen, you're about to bear a seed from Sarah. You're about to bear this seed. The seed that you thought was not coming. The heir that you believed. Let me take that back. He didn't say that he didn't believe it was coming, but he had to be patient for it. The seed that you've been waiting patiently for. Go ahead.
And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him.
Go ahead.
Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age.
Yeah, they were stricken in age. Think about that. A lot of people think when they get in their 60s, their late 50s, they're done. They think they're done. But they were stricken in their old age. The Most High works through prayers. Science don't control the Most High. After 55, you can't have no kid. After 50 years old, you might not want to have kids. Yeah, it might be a higher percentage of little small.
That's what they put in the woman's head.
Oh yeah.
That way they can start feeling old at 25.
Come on.
And because the whole point is, kill your kids, right? Through what is it? Abortion.
We're hitting that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Kill your kids through abortion, or mentally, psychologically shut you down from bringing forth these Israelite children. So you at a certain age, you can't. That ain't gonna be good at a certain age. If you take care of yourself, it will be.
Yep.
Man or woman. It doesn't matter on the age.
Yeah, even with that, mentally, because the mind controls the body.
Yeah.
So when they do that, yeah, the body will maybe stop producing those eggs. Your body starts getting decrepit and old, but it's all mental. Abraham was lively. He was like, I need a child. Go ahead.
Stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying,
yeah, she laughed. Right. Why? I'm old. I'm a little outdated. I don't think I could have a kid.
Outdated.
Yeah, I'm a little outdated. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being so old?
Come on, stop it, man. Being sarcastic. Go ahead.
Being old also, verse 13. And the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of surety bear a child, which am old?
Go ahead.
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Come on, man. You had to check Sarah. Stop that. Just because you thought your time was out, just because in your timeline of having a child that you thought about, come on. There's nothing hard for the Most High to bless a man on a drop of a dime.
Right. Remember, as we're going over this, some of y'all ain't worried about kids now. But at the same time, this is pertaining to everything. Most High it ain't in your time. The Most High will do it whatever it is in His time, and that's the point of this topic. Is that you see that Abraham wasn't wicked, so get that out of your head. It might that ain't the reason. It could be many other reasons. So don't just be narrow-minded when dealing with this topic or judging yourself. Examine yourself whether you be in the faith, and then you'll be able to say, I see why the Most High wants me to wait, because I'm not patient. I'll strangle these little kids. Right? Or, I haven't even been able to deal with a woman with patience. So how can I deal with a child? So you gotta look at those things, man, to really check your mind state. But don't lose faith. That's the point of what we're reading. You can't lose faith. You can't lose hope in the Most High. Go ahead.
Done. At the time appointed, I will return unto thee, according to the time of life.
No, you went up. Jump down to verse 14.
That's where I was up to.
Go ahead.
I'll start from the top. Verse 14. Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee, according to the time of life.
Come.
And Sarah shall have a son.
Read.
Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh.
But you did.
Yeah.
You did laugh.
All right, don't try to forget that. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And the men rose up from thence and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way.
Go ahead, jump to 18.
Verse 18. Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation,
Because this was a promise, man. This was going to come forth. Go ahead.
and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him.
It just took time. It took time. Yeah, he started with 1, 2, then birthed what? A nation. Go ahead.
Verse 19. For I know him, that he will command his children.
He'll do what?
Command his children.
And this is another reason why, like you said, some individuals may not have children. The Most High, it may not be the right time for you to be able to raise up your kids as the Most High wants. He just don't want nigglets in the world. He might have did you a favor. He might have did you a favor. Like this brother right here, man, it's a righteous brother. He's getting himself together. I don't want him to have that right now. I don't want him to have that burden. It may not be his time. It takes a lot.
It's true.
You gotta do your job. You gotta help your rib out. Gotta wipe butts. Gotta make sure the house is in order. You know, there's a lot that goes within having kids.
You know what's crazy is you got to think about how many people shouldn't be having kids.
Facts.
You know, there's a lot of people that shouldn't be having kids because they don't look at these kids as an extension of them. They just looked at them as sometimes a burden, sometimes a paycheck,
Gone.
right? Sometimes
Sometimes just came from pleasure at night, pleasure in the sleep.
sometimes just came from pleasure, right? It was a mistake,
Yep.
right? Huh?
A hindrance sometimes too.
Sometimes a hindrance, and you can see it by how they deal with their kids. They're angry.
Look just like your daddy.
They're angry. They're frustrated all the time.
Got your mama's attitude.
They want to choke them out all the time. It's like, you know, a child's supposed to be a blessing. So you can see why the Most High holds a lot of people back.
Gone.
Yeah.
Finish that off.
Verse 19. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him.
Because Abraham followed the laws. Stickler, holding it down. There wasn't going to be any type of schisms to come in. He said he will command his household after him. Read.
And they shall keep the way of the Lord.
Come on.
To do justice and judgment.
And when you think about this, I'm going to say this. When you think about this, Abraham, the Most High is not going to allow anybody to hold his lineage, to hold his chosen people's line.
Right.
Come on, man. Abraham had to go through some things. Just like Isaac, just like Jacob, just like our forefathers. They were a pure line, man. But Abraham had to be tested. But it was saying that through his justice and his judgment, to do justice and judgment.
Yeah.
Abraham had a standard. What kind of standard are we going to have for our children?
Yeah.
What are we going to raise them up in? We're going to raise them in the 20th century when you're dealing with TV and just YouTube. That's what you're going to let them learn from? Like I'm in the mall all the time, man. These little kids, all you see them on is the phones. But it's like, what is that? Is that
phone zombies?
Is that the only form of learning that they get from the phone?
Phone zombies.
Phone zombies, man. Little kids just be calm too, boy. You know they got jitter hands. Like kids at that age, their attention span should be like 10 seconds.
Their mind is influenced by that.
But they're locked in.
Yeah.
But Abraham said he's coming with justice and judgment. Go ahead.
That the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him.
Which is kids, man. That heir, the nation, Israel. Go to Ecclesiastes 30:7. And just on the flip, the Most High knew that Abraham was going to bless his children through teaching, raising them up, being that example. But a lot of our people, they're not that example. We are not that example when it comes to women, when it comes to men. Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 7.
Just on the opposite. We know Abraham was a righteous man. He had to wait. But what for those when they have children and that they don't want to really give them what they need? Give them the spirit, give them the word. This is what happens.
This topic right here make a cat really look into himself.
Got to.
Like why? You know, when it comes to, I mean, once again, it's about a child, but you'll start looking at yourself and saying, man, I got to really look at myself on why the Most High don't do certain things in my life.
Gone.
You know, with this brother, it might be a kid. With another brother, it might be a rib. It might be a car. It might be a job.
Dough.
It might be a lot of things. So we got to see that, you know, it's definitely, you should be examining yourself. That's what gives us the wisdom to not make the wrong moves.
Gone.
To make the right moves, to please the Most High, to look at it in ourselves and constantly keep evolving and saying, I got to get better. But once you get in this old Negro, old stubborn, old mind state of, well, I'm just the way I am, right? I'm not going to change. You're not going to evolve. You got to constantly be looking at that inward man and saying, man, what do I need to be chipping off of my spirit and out of my mind? Because you do want things. Well, I'm only going to get them. We're only going to get them by locking into the Creator. There's another way to get them. You know what I mean? Right? What way?
I mean, you can be wicked as hell.
You could be wicked as hell.
That's not gonna profit you.
No, it's going to be like all these cats that they go lay with these women. These rappers go lay with a piece of meat that's been passed around on everybody, basketball player, everybody in Hollywood, and they have a baby with them, and the next year they broke up. It's like everybody in Hollywood is doing that. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, they together, they really love each other, and then to be a year later, they broke up.
Yep.
But they got the kid. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the Kardashian she want her ex to donate sperm, cause all they want is that black sperm.
Sad.
You know what I mean? They want that sperm from a black man. But it just shows you that these relationships they're not founded on anything but lust. They're not founded on anything godly. So what happens to the kids? Look at Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's kids.
Oh, the adoptees?
Yeah, but not their kids. Their actual kids are being trained to be transgender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, that's what these kids. That's why, remember, he said he's going to slay utterly old and young maids and little children. So a lot of those kids, the Most High is going to destroy.
You look at Drake. When he got called out by.
Yeah, wasn't she a porn star?
Yeah, she's a stripper or something.
Was it?
Yeah,
I thought it was a porn
man.
Yeah, he
Drake loves strippers. That's his issue.
They asked him the reason why he didn't come out with express that he had a kid.
He said he didn't know.
Well,
He said at first I didn't know if it was mine.
Right.
I could
Right.
tell why.
Yeah, cause so he had a. So you think about it. You know you're laying with hoochies.
Yeah.
He love him too, boy.
Yeah.
Malaya out of Houston.
Yeah, it's sad because these that's our what's the word? That's our example.
Yep.
Not ours, because we know that we have left that
You
life.
have icons that people look at.
We have left that life,
Yeah,
but
for example.
that's the example to everybody else in the world. So a lot of these kids are going to be destroyed, man. Go ahead.
Done. This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 30 and verse 7.
And this is just going for the same people that we're talking about.
Yeah.
How they deal. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
He that maketh too much of his sons shall bind up his wounds.
Yeah, you don't pay attention to them. You just like to laugh with them, joke with them. You make too much of them.
Yeah,
you care about their emotions and feelings.
You're not paying attention to their the drop of wickedness, the evil seed within them. You're letting things slide too much, right? So, and we know foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but you got to be conscious of what negative is like the symbiotes is getting on them, because it can grow. It can be a cancer,
Right.
and your kid can be a little evil demon.
When you hear them lip something that you know that's not in the house, and they say it to somebody else.
Right.
You're like, wait a minute.
Where'd you get that from?
Where'd you pick that up from?
Yeah, you got to be conscious, man. But go ahead, read them.
Come, I'll read it from the top.
Uh-huh.
He that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds, and his bowels will be troubled at every cry.
Yeah, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with not teaching and being aware of what's going on with your children. And this is another. The Most High He may be trying to save you from this.
Yeah.
Sis, brother, you knew that you might want to be one of the ones that just kick back, relax, and watch a little TV. Oh no, when you got a kid, there's a lot more. It says if you, and his bowels will be troubled at every cry. Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And horse, not broken, becometh headstrong.
Yeah, when you don't instruct this child on how to be righteous, abide by the laws, this kid, woman or child, man or female, is going to be headstrong, not listening to nobody. Come on, the Most High a lot of times gives us breaks.
Yeah, you see that rebellious way, and you just let it ride. You think it's cute. You think it. You're thinking it'll pass, but if you don't address it, it will continually overcome. Yes, kids go through stages, but the Most High is just showing, and I think the reason why you're bringing out is that if you got a person that is not conscious of themselves, right, and not conscious of their surroundings or how they deal, well, maybe the Most High is not blessing you because you're not going to be conscious to this child. If you don't know that certain things have to be broken within you, then you will let these same characteristics build in your children. And those characteristics will ultimately destroy that child. So, could be another reason why the Most High is not blessing with those children. Right? Well, why does the Most High let the wicked have to kill children? Let the multitude perish because they're born in vain. Right? So... they could be just born just to be destroyed. Yep. Right? The wicked is reserved for the day of destruction. Like, why is any of the wicked born? Because the Most High prepared them for the day of destruction. So, he's, once again, every time you don't get everything you want is not a bad thing. It's not because the Most High is against you. Yep. It's not because the Creator hates you. It's because he knows best. He knows what is best for you. What you was gonna say?
We had mentioned it in we were doing the parent class. The scripture that says, "Woe to him who causes my little ones to stumble." Yeah. If you're not because the Most High doesn't bless you with the children or the offspring, is because you might make those little ones stumble. Right. And that blood is upon your hands, so you don't really see the repercussions and the consequences behind that, and therefore He's looking ahead for you. Yeah. I
mean, think about us just being in the truth right now. Like, as we're finding and gaining control of ourselves now, right? Because that's what we're trying to do daily, is gain control of us being an individual in the work and constantly having to fight in the spirit. Now, you got to do that with your kids. You got to do that with your kids. You got to do that with your household. You got to do that with your rib. Now, imagine if you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids. God. You know what I mean? Imagine if you got 2 kids. Some people can't handle that. Once again, I said it earlier. Some people can't handle themselves. So for that variable to be thrown in there, another equation. You got some people, man, they lose it. Yeah, go ahead.
John,
where you at?
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 30 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
And horse, not broken, becometh headstrong. And a child left to himself will be willful. Mm-hmm. Verse 9. Conquer thy child.
Yeah, you better check him. Better check that little joker. Get him right. Spare not that rod. Go ahead.
Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid.
Right. Conquer meaning that you laugh with him. So it's showing you that if you do this, if you're playing with them all the time and you're not, they don't know how to turn off the joke switch, the playing switch. They don't know when timing is. It's time for things. Where to shut down, be respectful. You play with them too much, that's what they're gonna do all the time.
Yeah. You're going to that tender. You're too tender. You look at their emotions too much.
Yeah. You're too passive. You can't be too passive. And y'all know. We're not going into a child's class, but you already know that you can't be too passive, nor can you be abusive. So it's got to be a balance. It's always a balance when dealing with your kids, because you definitely don't want to be abusive, but you definitely don't want to be too passive. Esau, they be too passive, right?
Oh man.
Judah, they hit you with the damn iron. Is a car hitting you with the iron and toys. And I remember my mom did it to me. She threw a toy across the room, split my head open.
Dang.
You know what I mean? You know, because that's what happens when Puerto Ricans get angry. They just, you know what I mean? It just slit you up. So, you know, we don't want to be doing that either. You wanna be that balanced father or mother, right? But where are we at now?
Second precept.
Okay, we're done with that.
Jump to Job chapter 1. Job chapter 1 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Just seeing another example with dealing with children. You know, some may not have, some may have, and they're taken. You know, so there's different examples in the Bible just to see about just dealing with these children, man. Seeing that there's other ways to look at why not having kids, or what happened, or what's the issue.
And y'all, once again, I see a few of y'all coming in here. I'm going to say this again. This is a question, but y'all know that y'all mind is supposed to be evolving. So as we go over this question, you're supposed to be thinking about all the other things. You might got this one brother that is, you know, a little frustrated about not having kids, but you might be something else. So then you got to be able to understand and look at yourself in that predicament and see why the Most High is not doing it. So this is what this topic is supposed to teach y'all. All right, go ahead.
Job chapter 1 verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright.
He was what?
Perfect and upright.
Go ahead.
So this is a good start. You see that Job, there was nothing according to the standards of what the scriptures is saying. He was the best what you can get.
Right.
Right? We know that nobody's like when we use this word perfect, he wasn't Yahweh Shai, but he was the best of what you can get during that time. So now think about that. Now I know a lot of you already know the story of Job, but think about it. It's the best what you can get at this time, and look at how the Most High deals with him. You see, so automatically it should be hitting in your head, and you should be saying, "Dang, you ain't always got to be a wicked person for the Most High to hit you, right?
Go.
You ain't always got to be a wicked person for the Most High to stop blessings. You know what I mean? You got to see that. You know, we look at things like that. Oh, he was wicked. He had to be wicked. You don't know that. You know, the scriptures show us that it ain't always that the case. Listen, well, when we talk about the 7 brothers that were boiled in pots, you know, they weren't wicked, right? Obviously, they was doing good for the Most High, but look how they died. You know, look at John being hung upside down. You know, John of Revelation, or John of the Apostles, right? Crucified on the island. He was exiled to the island of Patmos. Then you got to look at Isaiah, sawed in half, right? John the Baptist, his head chopped off. Stephen Stone. Like, these were righteous men, right? So you can't always say, "Oh, this has happened to me. What am I doing something wicked?" What it's supposed to do is you're supposed to analyze. Go ahead, read on.
There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job.
Right.
And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil.
Yeah, so he was eschewing evil. He didn't want that wickedness around him. Just showing you the nature of Job. Go ahead.
And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters.
So he had 7 sons and 3 daughters. He had plenty of children. Keep reading.
His substance also 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she-asses.
Go ahead.
Basically, what this is saying is Job was a very rich and successful man during this time, and Job falls around during the time of you figure around the time of the patriots, right? Because that's when his name comes up. During that time, the son of Issachar, right?
Correct.
It was one of the sons of Issachar. So you got to think about this. He was successful. He had money. He had riches. He had all these things what you might consider blessings. Blessings on blessings on blessings, right? Go ahead.
And a very great household.
Yeah.
So that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east.
Yeah, the greatest of all the East. Go ahead.
And his sons went and feasted in their houses, everyone his day.
Everyone what?
Everyone his day.
Yeah, just showing you exactly, obviously his sons, showing Job was a righteous man. Now, obviously his children were doing something a little bit more off. They said that they were in this house celebrating feast of their day. Go ahead.
And sent and called for their 3 sisters.
Right, and we go over this when we go over birthdays, just to show that Job wasn't over there, but they were. So they was over there celebrating their day, right? Not the Most High's days. Like, so this is one of the scriptures we show that, you know, we didn't celebrate birthdays. Go ahead.
And called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it was so.
And you listen, you know, there's a few points in here, but, you know, you've had that in the scriptures. And we always talk about that in our families, in our households. You hear us say it a lot online that you're in the law, you're in the scriptures, but your children's going to have to make a choice at a certain time. Remember what Absalom did. He was wicked.
Yep.
Absalom was wicked, but David wasn't, right? David made mistakes. Solomon was righteous for the most part, and he made a fatal error in the end of his life. But you see, who was it? It was David's sons. He had a few wicked sons. Yeah. Remember the one that committed adultery with his sister? Not committed adultery. He raped his sister.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, so you can see that all the time when you train up a child in the way which he shall go, sometimes he will depart from you. Meaning that they choose wickedness. They choose the left-hand side, the dark side. Because every person, every man, every woman has a choice. You know what I mean? At a certain time, you know, we can get the belt at a certain time, you know. But when your daughter gets 7'4" and and 250 pounds, are you really still whooping her? Unless you gotta be 7'5" to do that. But otherwise, for somebody, you know, at a certain time, you're gonna be like, listen, you either lock in or pack your bags. It's no more whoopings. Yeah. It's gonna be like, okay, you want to be independent? Shalom. I'll see you. You go be independent then, right? And then they gonna be having to get out. You know, so you have that too in here. You see that just because Job was righteous, you see his kids were doing things that was not in accordance. But go ahead.
Job chapter 1 and verse 5. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning.
Right, so he came back and set up prayers. Yep. You know what I mean? I got to remind my family, listen, why y'all setting up prayers? Why y'all waiting for me? You know what I mean? Why y'all waiting for me? Y'all should be praying. You should be facing the east. You see, I got to put them on blast now. You know what I mean? Because why? It shouldn't be only because I lead you, but you got to build that relationship with your personal Lord and Savior.
That's facts.
Right?
Facts.
So this is what we got to remember, that he had to go and pray for them because they was messing up. You know what I mean?
He's like, that ain't me, Lord. Have mercy on them.
Yeah. Listen, have mercy on them because he still loved them, right? Go ahead.
And offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. Mm-hmm. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts.
Yeah, they may have done something wrong, but forgive them. I'm giving you this offering for their well-being.
Yeah, just in case.
Go ahead.
Thus did Job continually. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves.
And I like that because he was consistent in what he was doing with his children of praying for them. So just showing that this man was there for his family. Just like when it said Abraham was going to command his family and bring them up right, Job was the same way. Now go to Job. Jump to verse 13. Job
verse 13. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house.
Yep, doing it, eating and drinking again. Go ahead. Nothing wrong with it, but they're eating and drinking again. Go ahead.
And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them.
And we know at this point that Satan went up to the council and they said, have you seen my servant Job? Mm-hmm. So this is going on when now Satan is going to afflict Job a little bit. So this is going into exactly what happened whenever Satan afflicted Job.
So pertaining to your question, pertaining to the brother's question, you got to think about it. Maybe Satan is trying to reveal something about you, right? Right? And what I mean by that is, we know that Satan went before the council and was trying to provoke the Most High against this brother Job. Maybe that's happening with you. It happens with us every day. Satan daily is trying to get at us. Yeah, he's the prosecutor, and he's up there. He's just like Esau. Remember, that's his son. You know what I mean? Esau is his duplicate physical counterpart. So the same way, he don't have no restrictions. He don't have no love. He's constantly trying to prosecute. So maybe Satan is going to the Most High saying, well, hey, this brother, he don't deserve this or that. Watch, I'm going to show you why. Look at how he acts when he doesn't got it. Look at how she acts when they don't got it. See, Satan knows how to pull things out of you. He knows how to throw you in predicaments because he knows what you want, right? Why? By your actions. So you got to see, there's a lot of reasons why you don't get certain things. It could be many, many different reasons, man. And the scriptures say a spiritual man, it says, let a man examine himself whether he be in the faith. So this is us constantly examining ourselves and looking at ourselves and man saying, am I worthy of that? Right? So remember this. I'll say it. I said it earlier. Godliness with contentment is gain. Don't be so quick to give up, jump off, lose faith, lose hope, lose zeal, discredit yourself. But be patient. Wait on the will of the Lord. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 15. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Yeah, so his servants were murdered down, slayed with the sword. Go ahead.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven and had burnt up the sheep and the servants and consumed them.
Go ahead.
And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking.
Yeah, just showing that Job was getting afflicted by his misfortunes, miscomings. So just showing that obviously his sheep is getting slayed, his servants is getting slayed, and as we read down, we're going to see what else the Most High took from Job. Go ahead.
So this is a righteous man. We got that out of the way, right? He's a righteous man, and this is happening to him. So everything don't always pan out the way you predict it to, you in your mind say you deserve. That's the point, right? You deserve every damn thing. You do what? Come to one Sabbath class and what?
You're holier than thou.
You want the angel's supposed to come down and minister to you, right? You grow your beard, your beard back, right? And you're in your mind, you're like, man, I'm righteous now. The Most High owes me. Yeah. You open up you get the YouTube channel going. You open up a little school, right? And you think the Most High owes you something. The Most High don't owe us nothing. Yeah. We're still dirt. At the best, at the peak, in the height of what we become here on this filthy kingdom. Like, think about it. Think about brothers that got wisdom and knowledge that been in the truth for a lot of years. Let's go back to David. In his best, right? In his best. Being a righteous man as he is. What did he do?
Slipped up. Slipped up.
Right? Think of Solomon with all the wisdom he had at the best. Now you see why the Most High said our righteousness is as filthy rags, because, I don't want to throw nobody off, but just think about it. What had to be in your mind for you to do something like that? So you gotta see, man, how the Most High deals with us. We gotta stay humble. We don't deserve nothing. You deserve to be on the block, on the corner, in a duffel bag. Dang. You know what I mean? Begging for change. But the Most High got you in another predicament. You know, and it could be a little bit higher than that. But you still got to understand, nah, I don't deserve it. Let me keep on the path and see what the Most High is willing to give me. Right? Go ahead.
Job chapter 1 and verse 17. And while he was yet speaking, there came also another.
Yeah, so he's getting bombarded. He's getting bombarded with all these bad reports. Everything is dying. Go ahead.
And said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels.
And this is our life, right? You lost your job. It be one after another. It be, hey, man, I ain't got no kids, Hawk, and then my rib just left me. Ugh. Then she get pregnant
by somebody.
She left me. She got pregnant by somebody else, right? That's how it be. And it be like, damn, what the heck did I do?
What's going on?
Right? And that's the correct way to think. What did you do? Right. What didn't you do? Right? What is the Most High trying to show you? Right? Go ahead.
The Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels and have carried them away. Yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword.
Yep, killing all his servants off. Go ahead.
And I have only escaped to tell thee.
Now, let's use it. Let's think about this in a little more in depth. Why the Most High killed his kids? Why the Most High killed his servants? Right? He didn't kill Job because he was righteous. Yep. But maybe they was wicked. You see, the Most High moves things from you. He doesn't keep things around you because he knows what's best for you. You're thinking, damn, I'm losing everything. I lose this, I lost my kids. The one I didn't lose is my rib because she keep running her damn mouth to me and bringing me down more. Right? Like, you got to see how the Most High deals, man. That's why one of his first scriptures, my thoughts are not your thoughts. Like, you got to think, man, the Most High, the power that is of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is not a game. He's not a joke. This is not to be played with. He don't think like you. It's nothing like us. Especially in that worldly mind. So you see that these different variables, he was killing the wicked off.
Oh yeah.
He was the thing was the kids were wicked.
Yep.
His servants were wicked.
They had to go.
The Most High wasn't going to kill. He said, whoever perished being innocent. God. They was doing something, right? And the Most High was moving that away from them.
Yeah, a lot of people say this. It's not fair. No. With the Most High, it's not fair. Mm-hmm. Because the Most High does what he wants to do. Right. And then you have to ask yourself, what really is fair? Yeah. Well, what's fair is eternal damnation for us sinners. Think about that. But he doesn't do that. Grace, mercy. So when it comes to how he deals, we don't know what his thought process is. Right. Where you at?
Verse 18. Mm-hmm. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine.
They're doing the same thing, eating and drinking wine. Go ahead.
In their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house.
Read.
And it fell upon the young men.
Think about that. Like we just said, his whole kids were taken out. So Abraham was blessed with children. Now Job is here getting his children taken away. And he's a righteous man. So what is the reason for that happening? Keep reading.
And they are dead. And I have only escaped to tell thee.
And we know that Job felt a certain way because those were the kids that he was continually doing sacrifices for. So he loved them. But the Most High did this.
Yeah, you're going to love them. You're going to love your kids, But Eli, right?
Right.
He loved his kids more than
the judgment.
The judgment that was supposed to be set. God. So the Most High killed his kids, then killed him. God. So, but you see, he didn't do that to Job because Job put the Most High first. Yep. See, that's what, obviously, if you put all these stories together, you can see, man, the lesson is, bruh, stay locked into the spirit no matter what. No matter what's there, no matter what's not there, you better. Every man shall seek out his own soul salvation. You keep locked in. Don't let these things, man, veer you from the word, the commandments, your path to the kingdom. Don't let none of that break your stride. Women will come and go. It's sad to say, and I know it sounds hard and cold-hearted. Kids, you love them. You raise them right. But they will come and go. They'll get a certain age and just, man, forget about the truth.
Oh, yeah.
They act like they don't know you. You know what I mean? Hey, you don't want to be wicked kids and don't fulfill that wicked path. You want to be a righteous child, a righteous son or daughter, then follow the commandments. Otherwise, you're going to fulfill that path. You get 18, you know what? I never really wanted to be there anyway.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And cut out. You know, go, you know, start tattooing yourself, putting tongue rings, nipple rings, and then, you know what I mean? He was too hard on me anyway. I needed to get out of there. I'm free now.
Touching everything in the world and then get touched.
Yeah. So you got to think about these things. What? Somebody had their hand raised. What's that?
Same scenario. You look at Aaron. You look at Aaron. His two sons, when they put the censer to the nose,
Right.
they died because they were committing wickedness.
Right.
But Aaron still abided by the Most High, continued, and he had sons that still maintained the priesthood.
Right. Yep.
Like that.
That's real. Yep. Come on, read.
Job chapter 1 and verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head.
Yeah, because he was mourning. He was mourning for his whole family, cattle, servants, everything that he had was gone. Go ahead.
And fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said.
Yeah, so the Most High is still, Job is this righteous man still doing what's necessary for him to show homage to the Most High, no matter what the situation was. So we see that his kids were taken away, but he still was steadfast in the Most High.
Right.
Read.
Verse 21. And said, naked came I out of my mother's womb.
I love this. He was like, listen, I see what just happened, Most High, but I came out naked. Read.
And naked shall I return.
And naked shall I return. I'm not bringing anything with me to the grave. Go ahead.
The Lord gave, and the Lord had taken away.
Come on, he gave it, and he'll take it away. He knows that this was this was the Most High's will. What was going on with him having everything, and then everything being taken away in a bloody. Think about the scene. It's a bloody scene. You got bodies, servants sliced up. His animals are sliced up. His kids just got smushed by beams. So now you got to go see them smushed up.
What scripture was that you at right now?
Job chapter 1 and verse 21.
Right. Go ahead.
Read.
Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this Job sinned not.
Yeah, and still he said, blessed be the name of the Lord. In all what he did, he didn't rebuke the Most High. He didn't deny him. He understood that, well, I tried my best for my kids.
Yeah.
They had to go. Keep reading.
Nor charged God foolishly.
He didn't charge the Most High foolishly. And as we know in the story, the Most High still brought him everything that he lost.
Yeah, and that's, I hope y'all see that when he said, nor charge God foolishly, showing that this man kept his integrity all the way through. He didn't 1 minute, a flip-flopper. 1 minute the Most High is with me, and then, he's giving me the things, and I'm rejoicing, and I'm happy, but then I catch this trials and tribulation, and next the Lord ain't with me.
Right.
You said question?
No, I'm saying you start questioning.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
Right, go ahead.
I was going to say, he kept his integrity because in 2 and verse 10, he checked his rib, and he said that shouldn't we receive good as well as bad from the Most High?
Right.
So he wasn't reckless in when it said charge God foolishly. He wasn't reckless in being wishy-washy with the Most High.
Right.
He understood. Okay, you gave it to me, you took it away. Cool. Blessed be God.
Just showing that mindset of how we should be, and just seeing everything. Like you said, we don't have the car, we don't have the kids. Well, the Most High has something for you. He got something planned. If you said it the best, I tell my father all the time, listen, if you ain't dead, if you still breathing, the Most High is still with you. You're still able to pray, to repent, and to do better, even request things from the Most High.
Mm-hmm. And as you grow in the truth, as a man or as a woman, you can become, you don't have to have necessarily physical offspring. You can be and do what the scripture says, being a father to the fatherless. You can be the spiritual fathers for young men and young women that come into the truth, as well as young mothers. You know, so you don't have to always have it as a blessing to have physical kids. You can have a spiritual child as well that you nurture and bring up in the truth. And the Most High still looks at that as your seed.
Right. Like the scriptures say, being a father to the fatherless.
Right.
Right. To the widows and things of that. There's a lot of brothers and sisters that are going to come in, you know, and don't know how to take care of their kids. Don't know how to comfort their kids. Don't know how to comfort the widows and things of that nature. So you got to take that up under your belt, right? That's very, 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 very good point. Go ahead.
Go to 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 7. Just dealing with Job and dealing with the trial of the faith, man. That's why the fruits of the Spirit season was perfect, because those are attributes that the Most High is bringing out of us. And patience is one. Patience is one. Think about it. Noah had 3 sons, but what son was the righteous lineage going through? Come on. Think about his other 2 sons. What are they? Born in vain? They're born in vain. So think about even that circumstance of dealing with his children in his mind. Well, I got one lineage that's supposed to have the promise, and the other 2, well, hey, that's what the Most High had planned. Read where you at.
1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 7. That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perishes.
And that's what it was with Job. Same thing with Abraham. Even with us, we got to see that because things aren't working in the way that we see that they should be, the Most High has you, man. But he's working on your patience and your faith. Again, are you on your knees praying? Are you asking the Most High for what you want? Are you repenting for sins? And we're going to get there as well. But this says that the trial of your faith is much more precious than gold, because the Most High is making sure that you're able to deal with what you have. He don't want you to have kids and end up in a bad situation, not knowing how to deal with them. It may not be that right time. Go ahead.
That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perishes.
Read.
Though it be tried with fire.
Where you at?
1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 7.
1 Peter 1 and 7. Go ahead.
Though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ.
That's what it's about. It's about being steadfast in your belief in the Most High. With kids or without kids. And we're going to see that the Most High made individuals barren on purpose for a reason, to where they couldn't bring forth seed. They couldn't bring forth children. Go to 1 Samuel 1 and 1. 1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 1. And just showing that the Most High has everything working how he wants it to. Even your life. He led you where you wanted. He led you where you're at, learning the truth. And he may hold back the wife. He may hold back the seed. But it's not to say, like you said earlier, not saying that you're wicked. It may not just be meant for you. But then the question is, do you even want to have kids? Men and women. There's a lot of women that are barren, that can't have children. But what is it that they may have to work on for that womb to be open?
Yeah.
What is it that you yourself are being seen as pleased in the eyes of the Most High? You're pleased in the Most High to where he'll bless you with that, because we know that the Most High blesses individuals with seeds. Read where you at.
Tom, this is 1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse, you said 1?
1 and verse 1.
1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 1. Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim,
Go ahead.
of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeraham, the son of Eliud, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, in Ephraim, Ephrathite, and he had 2 wives.
And it was going in about this individual that has a wife. Go ahead.
Come.
2 wives.
2 wives.
2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah.
So he had one that was Hannah.
The other Peniah.
Yeah, Peniah.
And Peniah had children, but Hannah had no children.
Yeah, but Hannah had no children. So he had 2 wives. One with that bare a child, one that did not bear a child.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh.
Another righteous man, man that feared the Most High and did his duty. Go ahead.
And the two sons of Eli,
Hophni.
And Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there.
Go ahead.
And when the time was that
Elkanah
offered, he gave to Phinehas his wife, and to all her sons and to daughters portions.
Yeah, so he gave them their portions. Go ahead.
But unto Hannah.
Unto who?
Hannah.
Read.
He gave a worthy portion.
Go ahead.
For he loved Hannah.
Yeah, so dealing with Hannah. But there was a reason why he gave her a wealthy or worthy portion. Go ahead.
But the Lord had shut up her womb.
Who did?
The Lord had shut up her womb.
Yeah, just showing that the Most High shut Hannah's womb up. It wasn't anything that Hannah could do. It wasn't nothing that Elkanah could do. The Most High shut up her womb. And that's for a lot of brothers and sisters too. The Most High may have shut up the womb, stopped the seed. Well, listen, you're going to focus on me. It's time for me and you to have a one-on-one time. All that extracurricular activity, listen, go ahead and put that to the side and let's get together. Let's fellowship together. So showing that the Most High shuts up wombs. Go to Isaiah 54:1. And we're given a balance just to show that it may not just be you.
Right.
It may not be your sins. The Most High is working. The Most High is bringing forth these situations to where a woman can't have a baby, to where a man can't have seed.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of men that have, what do they call it? They're sterile.
They're sterile, right?
You're sterile. To where you can't even have kids.
Yep.
Who did that? You think you did? The Most High shut that down. Now, it could have been caused by many reasons. We're going to go into a couple, but the Most High does this.
Isaiah chapter 54, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear.
Yeah, sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. Go ahead.
Break forth in the city.
So it's not a bad thing to be barren. It's not a bad thing to have children. Go ahead.
Break forth in the singing and cry aloud.
That
thou didst not travail with child.
Yeah, you didn't travail with child. Just showing that even whenever you go into all the things that we went through Israel, the destruction of Jerusalem, you didn't have a child with you. So just showing that it's not always a bad thing to not have children. Go ahead.
For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife.
Go ahead.
Saith the Lord.
Yeah, so it's not bad to be barren. Luke chapter 23 and verse 29.
Yeah, in the end, the Most High is going to make you a strong nation. One brother. Remember that. When you go to Isaiah 60, I think it's Isaiah 60. You know, the Most High is going to give you exactly what you want and you desire, you know, as you're being called that chosen and righteous, the 144,000. So stay consistent in that, and you'll see, man, all those things, he said you're going to get in the kingdom.
Right.
You're going to get more. You're going to get blessed. And real blessings. That's the thing about the kingdom. You are going to have 1,000 kids and not have to worry about 1,000 wicked nigglets. Right? That's the beautiful thing about the kingdom. Not saying it's wrong to have kids now. Remember, we're just answering this brother's question. But not saying it's wrong to have kids here in this kingdom. Because you get brothers that do that too. I don't want to have kids here in this kingdom. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But at the same time, the kingdom, we're not going to have to worry about that mind state, you know, scared to have kids because they got to grow up and have to check the birth certificate of the woman, right? Or the birth certificate if this is a man,
Yep.
right? So I get it. Go ahead.
This is Luke chapter 23 and verse 29. For behold, the days are coming, in the which they shall say, blessed are the barren.
And this is Christ saying, talking about the siege of Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Blessed are the barren, and the womb that never bare.
Why? Go ahead.
And the paps which never gave suck.
Yeah, when you deal with war, when you deal with you being conquered, it's going to be a rough time having a kid.
Yeah.
Giving suck. You have to deal with you yourself, fending off your enemies. He said, blessed are the barren. Blessed are the barren in the wombs that never bear. So just showing, giving the balance that it's not an evil thing to not have kids. It's not a negative thing. Go to
He might, once again, the scriptures is reiterating, he might be doing that for a reason. Like the timing, he might be doing that for a reason, especially during these times.
right.
You know, imagine having kids, babies during these times. It's gonna get more crazy.
No money,
Yeah,
You
gotta
know.
feed another mouth.
electricity.
Right, y'all know how they are. You know, all brothers and sisters with 4 or 5 kids, and you know, you gotta feed them. You know, you gotta get toothpaste, brush their teeth. You know what I mean? You gotta get pimple stuff for their pimple heads.
Gone.
You know, you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta keep clothes on them, right?
Gone. Go to Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Just going. No, Ecclesiastes in the Bible. And just showing that again, it's not bad or a negative thing to be barren. But then there's another equation that could come into it as well. It's about dealing with past sins.
Right.
What-
And y'all seen that? Y'all understand that scripture where it says, "Blessed is the barren." Yeah, y'all understand that, right? What he's saying is, when it says "blessed is the barren," meaning that right now, yeah, you're suffering. Right now, you don't have right now you don't have these things, but look forward to those things. That's what it means. But blessed is the barren. You know, you're going to get what you want. You're gonna get these things. That's what it means. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I look at it like, when the disciples came to Yahushua and said, we have given up all, and what shall we get in return?
Right. There you go.
And he said that you're going to get that much more in the kingdom.
Right. He
So-
said now and in the kingdom to come.
So
Yeah.
you might not have it at that moment, but the Most High is going to give it to you.
It's a small thing for the Most High to give you a child. You know, but once again, you know, we keep saying it. How do you want those children? Who do you want those children to be born from? Huh? You want an Israelite princess? You want an Israelite queen? Or do you want a disgruntled, loud mouth, hair hat wearing, right?
Heartlet.
Disgruntled woman?
I'm going to take that first.
Right? Same thing for the man. The same thing for the woman. You want a child, but do you want it from a buff dummy? You know what I mean? Or do you want it from a man of wisdom and understanding? So you gotta weigh these things out too, right? Come on, let's finish it up.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Verse 12.
No, read that. Showing that an evil work is not executed speedily. So just showing that we have repercussions to our actions, or there is repercussions to our actions, and a lot of this could be one equation dealing with not having a child is because of sins that you have done. It says because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily because you didn't get struck down 15 years ago, or something that you did when you was 15, 17, it could still come back and bite you in the butt in your adult life.
Like you said in Leviticus, it's in Leviticus and Exodus,
Right.
that he would come and visit the third and the fourth generation.
We going there.
My bad.
Yep.
So
Go to Leviticus 20. I got you. Leviticus 20. And I'm just showing about just dealing with the law because
Leviticus chapter 20.
yeah, Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 20. Because having no children could come from past sins. So let's see what sin or what law would cause an individual if they broke it to not have children. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 20. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife.
So if you lie with your uncle's wife, and this is specific. Go ahead.
He has uncovered his uncle's nakedness.
Read.
They shall bear their sin.
You're going to bear your sin when you deal with looking and lying with your uncle's wife. Go ahead.
They shall be childless.
They shall be what?
Childless.
Yeah, you're going to be childless. When you start dealing with your uncles, your cousins, wives, when you start committing adultery, this is one sin. Or this is one repercussion that you're going to be childless. Read.
Verse 21. If a man shall take his brother's wife.
His who?
His brother's wife.
Adultery. Go ahead.
It is an unclean thing.
Go ahead.
He hath uncovered his brother's nakedness.
Read.
They shall be childless.
Yeah, they shall be childless. The Most High is cutting that all the way off because that's wickedness. The Most High is cutting it off. So this is another. Now, you may not specifically have slept with your uncle's wife or your brother's wife, or your brother's husband, or your, on both male and female side, but just showing that when you start dealing with this adultery spirit, the Most High cuts certain things off. And we had to throw this in here just to show another equation of why one may not have a child. And this isn't for everybody, but this is according to the law. Now go to Ecclesiastes 23. Ecclesiastes chapter 23 and verse 22. Because there's a lot of different reasons of why an individual, male or female, may not have children. And this is according to the law. This is according to the adultery that goes on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 23 and verse 22.
And then I'm going to say this, though. Every sin, it don't matter what you might have done, may have caused the individual to not be to have children. You could have robbed or stole from somebody. That could have caused you to not have children. So there's a lot, not just only adultery, sin itself. But go ahead.
Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband.
And this is dealing with, again, adultery. The wife that leaveth her husband, read.
And bringeth in an heir by another.
And now you brought in a child by another. You brought in, which is not your husband. Go ahead.
Verse 23. For first, she hath disobeyed the law of the Most High.
Showing that you are not going to leave your husband until death, or he gives you a bill of divorce. So we're seeing here that obviously there was no separation. The man did not separate from his wife. Go ahead.
And secondly, she hath trespassed against her own husband.
Yeah, you trespassed against your man by leaving. Go ahead.
And thirdly, she hath played the whore.
Go ahead.
In adultery.
Yeah, now you done played the whore in adultery, dealing with this other man other than your husband. Now, what is going to happen by this act of adultery? See, there's always repercussions to our actions. We got to see that. Go ahead.
And brought children by another man.
Brought forth another seed. Go.
She shall be brought out into the congregation.
Uh-huh.
And inquisition shall be made of her children.
Yeah, inquisition of the children. Not her. Well, she's going to be brought out, but specifically the children. Go ahead.
Her children shall not take root.
They shall not what?
Take root.
Come on, man. You're not finna have children. These little yinglings that you done brought forth in wickedness, they got to go. They will not take root, which means they're not going to be established. Go ahead.
And her branches shall bring forth no fruit.
You're not having no kids due to the fact of your adultery. So it depends. If the woman, dang, why do I not have kids? Well, what have you done? What were your past sins? Or what are you doing now for the Most High to cut that off? So there's many variations that we got to look at. Is it faith? Is it long suffering? Is it patience? Yeah, how will I know I'm righteous? I'm trying to be right. I'm trying to follow the laws. I'm striving. Or am I literally doing wicked acts? Go ahead.
Did you want Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 16 to go with that?
No, not right now. Go ahead.
God, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Her children shall not take root, and her branches shall bring forth no fruit.
Yeah, she's not going to bring forth fruit. Go ahead.
She shall leave for her memory to be cursed, and her reproach shall not be blotted out.
Yeah, the reproach will not be blotted out. Just showing that no more kids. You can bring that Wisdom of Solomon out.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 16.
Just showing that whenever you start dealing with adultery, this could be a possible reasoning for not having kids, not bringing forth fruit. Go ahead.
As for the children of adultery, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out.
That's what the Most High said. He said those children that come from adultery, their lineage is done. And the Most High dealt with a lot of Israelites like that in the past. Dealing with, if you sin, if there's a certain sin, you're done. You and your family's done. You will not have a name that no longer lives in the earth. Go to, from there, we got a couple minutes left, just showing about the law. Now, and we know about the Exodus 34 in verse 7, but I want to hit another point just dealing with maybe your body, your mind, due to the fact of all the extra things that you do. The Most High don't want to bring a child in a defiled body. Go to 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16, because there's a lot of things that we could look at when you deal with this topic.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16.
You alcoholic? You a druggie? Huh? What do you like to do? Do you like to defile your body? Because the Most High doesn't find respect in that. Tattooing your body? Doing all these defiled things? Read where you at.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High?
Yeah, we are the temple. Our body is the temple. We are a representation of the righteousness of the Most High. Go ahead.
And that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you.
Read.
If any man defile the temple.
If any man defile his temple, his body. And defiling is by what? Drugs, overexertion of alcohol, because now you're looking sick, tattooing your body, you're smoking all the crack in the world, all the weed in the world. You're destroying your body by what? Abortions. You got a lot of women that have abortions. And now when you want to have a seed, the Most High is like, no, denied. What is it that you've done to your body to where it's defiled? Read.
If any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy.
Go ahead.
For the temple of the Most High is holy. Which temple are ye?
Yeah, the Most High don't want you to replicate another defiled temple. He don't want you to bring forth something else. He's shutting down your body. A lot of times we defile ourselves. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 22. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and verse 22. Just showing that there's a lot of things that we even do to our body that you ain't even physically ready for. You're not ready for a child. You may be overweight. You better get right. I don't think you want to have a miscarriage or certain things like that. The Most High is preparing you. He's trying to show you that you might not be ready for this child right here, due to the fact that you still got these vices in the world. You're gonna bring forth a monster, and I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save you the pain and the time that you have to deal with them. Read where you at.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and verse 22.
And I'm going on this on abortions, because a lot of women, they do a lot of abortions, man, constantly. Not only just when you go to Planned Parenthood, but when you take that Plan B. That's another abortion pill that rips your body. Go ahead.
Moreover, this was not enough for them.
Showing about our wickedness as Israel dealing with other idols from the nations. Go ahead.
That they erred in the knowledge of God.
Yeah, we erred in the knowledge of the Most High, understanding what He wanted us to do. We start seeking other ways. But this is another reason why men and women aren't bringing forth seed. Go ahead.
But whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance.
Yeah, in a great war of ignorance, righteousness, wickedness. Go ahead.
Those so great plagues called they peace.
Yeah, they said our people call these plagues peace. Even now, a lot of us think these plagues that are coming on earth, coronavirus, this is peace. They're chilling at the crib. This ain't peace. People are dying daily. Even over there, in China, over the overseas. But a lot of our people call this peace. It's the same mentality. Go ahead.
Verse 23. For whilst they slew their children in sacrifice.
They did what?
They slew their children in sacrifice.
Not knowing that whenever you give an abortion, you're slaying your baby. You're sacrificing your baby. And you don't know what kind of ritual or what kind of ceremony that they're doing there. Because it does have a long string of rituals. And a lot of brothers and sisters do that, man. Plan Bs. That's the easy way to go. Yeah, you had one little mess up one night stand. You know, what you gonna do? Let me give me a Plan B real quick. Yeah, you do that 3-4 times. Most times, like, man, you're done. You don't understand what you're doing to your body. You're taking out the kids, so you know what? You're not gonna have no kids. Listen, brother, you paid for you paid for those abortions 15 times, 15 different women. You don't deserve a child. Think about it. But what has your body done, or what has your body been through those abortions for the women? But the men aren't free from that because they pay for it a lot of times. You approve that. Go ahead.
Or use secret ceremonies or make revelings of strange rites.
Yeah, they do secret ceremonies and revelings of strange rites. When you deal with this abortion as well, those aborted babies, you know what they do to it? They don't put it in the bag and bury it. No, they ship it right over there to China. They allow somebody to buy those aborted fetuses and those aborted babies, and they have fetus soup. So when you think that you're doing this abortion, no, you're doing a sacrifice in a ceremony to a God that you don't know about. When it comes to these nations, they do nasty things like that. Look up fetus soup. This ain't no joke. All our babies are being fed to Chinese or whoever wants them. It's sad. The elite, they do all their nasty little ceremonies, not knowing that this is causing our people to be affected by barrenness. Yeah, you don't deserve to have children. Why? Because you don't care about them anyway. You killed them off. Go to Ecclesiastes 31 or 33 and 11. Actually, hold that. Go to Jeremiah 29 and 11, Romans 8 and 28. Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse 11, just showing that those were many different variations or variables of why an individual may not have children. But knowing through all that, you past sins, the Most High is working on your patience, working on your faith, just dealing with being an example for someone else. So we have to see that the Most High has everything in his hand. If you're abiding in what the Most High's will in your life is, if you're abiding in that, the Most High is going to bless you. And that's the outlook that you have to see. You're not supposed to condemn yourself just because you don't have children. Read where you at.
Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11.
Go ahead.
For I know the thoughts that I think towards you.
Read.
Save the Lord.
Go ahead.
Thoughts of peace.
The Most High thinks about peace towards us. Even though we don't have children, he still wants peace for you. At this time, just because you don't have children now, you might have it later on. Go ahead.
And not of evil.
The Most High don't want evil. He wants to give you. He wants to make you fruitful. Pray. Get on your knees. Are you asking for it? Read.
To give you an expected end.
Yeah, he wants to give you an expected end, especially if you're dealing and you're obeying his laws and statutes, as we know that he blesses those that follow his will. Like Christ said, I didn't come to do my will, but the will of the Father, which made Christ a prized possession in the Most High's eyes. Romans 8 and 28.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 28.
Go ahead.
And we know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Most High.
See, we got to see that. All things work good for us if we obey the Most High. If that's in childbearing, bringing forth children, adopting, whatever it might be, the Most High is looking for your good. And that's in everything. He's not hoping for your doom. Now, do we have to go through situations and trials? Yes. That's where we're getting the information of how to deal. So now we have to apply it now. That's why I love our acronym, Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge, because now you have to practice what the Most High is giving us. So when you go through those times where you think it's my time to have a kid, but I'm not having a kid, well, patience. Relax, because it says that, read that again from the top.
Come, and we know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Most High.
Read.
To them who are called according to his purpose.
Yeah, called according to his purpose. 1 John 3 and 20, last scripture. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 20. And just showing that, it's not a negative thing. It's not always a negative thing regarding not having children. And it could be. But like Kazak said earlier, you got to evaluate yourself, examine yourself, and understand what have you been doing. And if you've been living that righteous, pure life, keep striving. Keep praying. The Most High will give it. Even if not, keep striving. Keep praying. The Most High will give what you want. Repent. Read where you at.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 20.
Read.
For if our hearts condemn us, the Most High is greater than our hearts.
Yeah, we're not supposed to condemn ourselves when dealing with things that we don't get. A lot of times, brothers and sisters do that. You go into the mud. You start wallowing. You start hating things. You start hating your spouse. You start hating your children, not knowing that it's not them. It's just the Most High working virtue within you. Patience, long-suffering, kindness, gentleness, meekness. Fruits of the Spirit series is dope. I'm going to keep saying this for 3 months from now. But just showing that, hey, don't condemn yourself because you're not getting what you want at the time you wanted. The Most High wanted you to be righteous when you were born. Were you that?
Wow.
Patience. Read.
And knoweth all things.
Go ahead.
Beloved, if our heart condemn us not,
Right.
then have we confidence towards the Most High.
And that's what it's about. Whenever you don't condemn yourself, you have confidence knowing that the Most High is on your side. The Most High is willing to fight for you and give you what you want, just like Christ said. He said, you ask in my name and it will be given to you. He didn't say right now. He didn't say next week. Maybe not even a month. But it's coming eventually, maybe 20 years from now. But that's the patience. Go ahead.
Come. To them we have we confidence towards the Most High.
Read.
And whatsoever we ask.
Whatsoever we what?
Whatsoever we ask.
Some of y'all got to talk. Y'all don't talk now, so how much more do y'all talk to the Most High? You got to start communicating. The scripture says, with such sacrifices, the Most High is well pleased. Or communicate and forget not. Same thing with throwing up prayers. You better let your prayers be heard. You better let the Most High, you better pray to the Most High that He's receiving them. Go ahead.
And whatsoever we ask, we receive of Him.
But what do we have to do? Read.
Because we keep His commandments.
And that's what it's about. We have to keep His commandments. Job kept his commandments. Abraham kept his commandments. Isaac kept his commandments. They all went through the rigmarole. They went through it. But they were steadfast. He says He will hear us. We receive of Him because we keep His commandments. Read.
And do those things that are pleasing in His sight.
And that's what it is. You want to be pleasing in the eyes of the Most High, to where He's willing to bless you with that seed, willing to bless you with that family. One more. Actually, that'll be it. So that'll end that topic. Kaya, one of my sisters was barren, and she took a vow of no wine, and at 40 she is now pregnant with her first seed. Come on, man. Crazy. No wine. She did a no wine fast, and at 40 she's pregnant with her first seed. I know women who act like abortions was birth control. Like abortions was birth control. Was birth control. Disgusting. Yeah. It's sad. But hopefully that edified the brother who asked the question. Today's Thursday. We're going to be having class tomorrow. So we're going to have another good class. So hopefully y'all log in. Again, share the class. Get it out there. This is the issue that a lot of our brothers and sisters deal with. So with that, we're going to tell everybody online, thank you for watching. All right. Tell them shalom, everybody. Shalom.
Is my rock. Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High